In a quiet, forgotten village nestled between rolling green hills and whispering trees lived a widow named Lila and her only son, Kabir. The village, though modest in wealth, overflowed with warmth and community, and its people believed in sharing what little they had with one another. Lila, however, had grown bitter and selfish over the years, especially after her husband passed away. Though life had been hard, her heart had hardened even more, and she had become obsessed with holding on to every grain of rice, every rupee, every scrap of anything thing valuable. On this world, she often told young Kabir, the one who gives is the one who starves, and the one who takes is the one who survives. She drilled this belief into Kabir's ears every day, even as he tried to hold on to the goodness in his heart. Kabir was different, soft spoken, gentle, and always eager to help others. He would give his bread to the hungry and carry water for the old. People in the village noticed and loved him for it, though many wondered how such a kind soul could come from such a cold-hearted mother. Still, Kabir remained devoted to Lila, hoping someday she would change. Life moved slowly in the village, seasons turning like pages of an old book. One summer evening, as the golden sun dipped behind the hills, Kabir was walking back from collecting firewood when he heard a soft cry near the riverbank. An old woman lay there, frail and trembling, her ankle twisted, and her bundle of herbs scattered. Without hesitation, Kabir helped her up, washed her wound with clean river water, and offered the last piece of jaggery he had in his pouch. The old woman, with eyes as deep as wells of time, looked at him with gratitude and said, "You have a rare heart, child. People like you bring light to the world. Take this seed. It may look ordinary, but plant it under the full moon tonight, and tomorrow something extraordinary will bloom." Confused but respectful, Kabir accepted the small brown seed and tucked it safely in his pocket. That night, when the moon was full and round, casting a pale silver glow over the fields, Kabir dug a small hole behind their hut and gently planted the seed. He whispered a quiet hope into the soil that it might bring something good for his mother, something that could ease her bitterness. He didn't expect anything magical, but the next morning he was stunned to find a tall golden tree where the seed had been sown. Its leaves shimmered like pure gold, and instead of fruit, heavy coins hung from every branch. Kabir ran to tell his mother, who, upon seeing the tree, stood frozen in disbelief before bursting into wild laughter. "We're rich. We're finally rich," she shouted, her voice shaking with greed and joy. She immediately forbade Kabir from telling anyone. "Not a word to the neighbors," she warned. "They'll come with their begging bowls, and we'll be left with nothing." She made Kabir gather as many coins as he could every morning, filling up pots, sacks, and even kitchen drawers with gold. She sold a few quietly to a traveling merchant and began upgrading their home, buying fine silk, gold bangles, and storing food enough for a year. Kabir was happy to see his mother smile for once, but her growing greed troubled him. Mother," he said gently one day, maybe we can help the village too. So many of them don't have enough." Lila turned sharply. "Help them? And what will they do when the tree stops giving? Come knocking at our door?" "No, Kabir, this is our miracle, and we're not sharing it." Kabir sighed. He spent more and more time under the golden tree, wondering if it had come as a blessing or a test. Lila, meanwhile, had grown obsessed. She started cutting small branches to get the coins faster, despite Kabir's protests. "It's a tree, not a person." At the tree, golden and still, seemed to shimmer less every day, its branches sagging, its glow dulling. Nyeh. Kabir begged his mother to stop. This tree came from kindness. Maybe it only grows because of love. Lila laughed in his face. "You still believe in fairy tales. It grows because we planted it, and now it belongs to us." One moonless night, while Kabir slept, Lila took an axe and crept to the tree. She whispered to herself, If one branch gives me coins, imagine what the whole tree will give. And with one heavy swing after another, she chopped the golden tree down. She expected a mountain of gold, coins pouring like rain. But as the tree fell with a dull thud, every coin on its branches turned to ash, and the trunk melted into the earth like dust. She screamed. Kabir woke and ran to find his mother kneeling in the soil, her hands clawing at the empty ground. It's gone. Everything's gone, she sobbed. Kabir stared at the spot where the tree once stood, now just dry, cracked earth. He said nothing. What could he say? He agreed had consumed the miracle. That night, neither of them spoke. Days passed, and the villagers began to whisper about Lila's strange absence and the sudden silence from her once busy home. Slowly, the riches they had saved began to dwindle. Lila, once glowing with pride, became pale and sickly. She lay in bed most days, staring at the ceiling, haunted by the golden tree and what she had done. I destroyed it, she muttered one night. My own hands, my own hands, my own greed. Kabir cared for her quietly, cooking simple meals, fetching water, and sitting by her side. If I only wanted us to be safe, she said once through tears. I thought more would mean happiness. Kabir held her hand and replied, more doesn't mean better, mother. Sometimes enough is everything. As her health faded, Lila began asking Kabir about the people in the village, the ones she once ignored. Does old Ramu still sit by the well? She asked. And the baker's girl, did she ever get her new shoes? Kabir smiled softly, knowing her heart was changing, even if too late. So late. On the day she passed, the sky was soft with clouds and the air gentle. Kabir buried her near the spot where the golden tree once grew. He placed no riches, only a small clay pot filled with flowers and a note that read, May your soul grow roots where it once chased gold. Months passed, and Kabir returned often to the river, helping travelers, children, and old villagers. One day, he met the same old woman he'd once rescued, sitting under a tree, smiling at him knowingly. The seed you planted grew more than a tree, child. It showed truth. She handed him another seed, but this time, plant it not for magic, but for memory. Kabir planted the new seed under the same moonlit sky. It grew not into gold, but into a tall, strong banyan tree with wide branches and cool shade. Under it, villagers came to rest, children played, stories were told, and kindness bloomed. Kabir never again chased wealth. He became a teacher, a storyteller, a helper to all, and though he never forgot the golden tree, he learned that some treasures shine not in gold, but in the hearts we touch. Some. In time, people stopped whispering about the greedy mother and began saying, Kabir is the boy who taught us what giving truly means. And thus, a village once shadowed by greed came to be warmed by a single act of kindness, planted by a heart that refused to change, even when surrounded by riches.